right, starting with the 3x3. Wow, this feels incredibly different from any other cube. The pieces feel really blocky and the magnets are incredibly strong. The cube screws look a little uneven and also a little bit too tight, especially like here, so I'll be loosening it. The way the cube turns feels really stable. The magnets are very strong and it does make sort of a weird noise, but I don't think it's that bad. Okay, so this cube is fine, but I feel like in harder algorithms that have weirder finger tricks, it's really easy to mess up with this cube. Yeah, reverse corner cutting, okay, that is definitely the problem. Regular corner cutting 45 is a little hard. That should really be able to do it. So overall for the price of $10, very good, but there are better ones. The Yushin Kylin V2 is usually what I recommend for this price, but even for $8, there is the YJ Yulong V2, which is also really good. So I'm actually really impressed by this. It turns really fast, unlike a lot of the other budget 4x4s that I've tried, like the Guansu and the Qiyuan. Those ones feel a lot heavier to turn, and while this one's corner cutting I don't think is likely much better, it's a lot more of a stable cube and I don't feel like I'm gonna mess up as much as long as I don't try to go at my maximum speed. This is only $12 and might actually be the best budget 4x4. I'll have to try some solves with it though, but I'm really impressed. All right, 5x5 hardware. The budget ones are often really bad. The best one right now is the Yushin Cloud, and let's see how this one goes. Since the turning is so smooth, I don't have to put a lot of effort into my turns, and that's really good on bigger cubes because the more force you apply, the less accurately you can turn, but you have to turn very accurately on big cubes. So if the cube lets you apply very little force, then I can focus a lot of my turning into trying not to corner cut too much, and then I can get my turns to be pretty good on this. Of course, I would never choose to use this cube over some of the better cubes, but I do think that this beats out a lot of the budget options. I don't feel the magnets very much, especially on the inner layers here. I do feel it on the outer layers, but one reason magnets are really good on big cubes is because when you hold the cube with one hand, you don't want to hold all the layers that you don't want to move at once. You just want to hold a little bit. And the magnets help to keep everything else in place. All right, so I did a couple of solves on the 4x4 and the 5x5, and overall I have to say I don't really like the 4x4 anymore. The reason is because the corner cutting is actually just really bad, and the same can actually be said for a lot of other 4x4s that are really cheap. And if you want to get a good budget 4x4, then yeah, I think get the Mr. M 4x4 because it may be one of the best ones. But if you want a good 4x4 that's not going to raise your time by many seconds, then I recommend getting the Wuchui non-magnetic if you just want a cheap, good 4x4. That is the cheapest 4x4 that I would actually consider good. But my main right now is the Aosu GTS2M, and I can get about similar times on the Wuchui M. Next, onto the 5x5. Again, it's got a corner cutting problem, and I can't seem to turn very well on this, although I think relative to normal 5x5s, I think it is better than the 4x4. So this cube I actually am very impressed by, although I don't think I would recommend it because there's a cheaper Yushin Cloud that I think has a better design, but I can do just about as well on either of them. So that's about all for these cubes. They're quite good for their price, although I don't think that they are the best for their price. Except for the 4x4, but I don't think you should get a budget 4x4 to begin with. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.